On one of their first dates, Charles and Lisa WYNN of Denver went skydiving. They took a leap of a different kind earlier this year when they volunteered for the Moderna vaccine clinical trial. As is common for trial participants, they don't know whether they got the real thing or a placebo.
That's dinner table conversation every night. When are we going to find out?
If they didn't receive the vaccine, the WYNNs would like to get it now.
Wouldn't it be great to just get that phone call and hear,
I'm like, you've been vaccinated.
You've been vaccinated.
But it's not that simple. Placebo or dummy drugs, which often make up half the drugs administered in clinical trials, help scientists determine whether vaccines are safe and effective, work that often lasts several years. Only then are studies unblinded.
If the people running the trials believe at some point they have learned enough and they don't need to continue the trial anymore, then they should shut the trial down.
We're not at that point now, but the idea of injecting placebo patients with vaccines, now that 2 have been shown to be effective, has spurred a vigorous debate.
Okay, if mine was a placebo, will they tell me, because it's a 2-year study, so that I can get the actual vaccine when it comes available?
It was Nazi experiments on prisoners in World War II that led to the Nuremberg Code, which allows subjects to opt out of clinical research at any time. Some say it's unfair and unrealistic to deny placebo patients the COVID-19 vaccine.
There are going to be a lot of them in groups that will have access to Pfizer or Moderna. I do believe that we should have the placebo group have that access as well.
And while those most at risk of a disease are typically included in clinical trials, they may be most helped by a vaccine.
The guardrails that we have around kind of the ethics of how we set up trials would say that it's just not ethical to enroll somebody who's super vulnerable into a trial when we know we have something today that can protect them.
But a number of vaccine experts say placebo-controlled trials that allow for extended patient study are critical, and bioethicist Dr. Matthew Winia agrees.
We ask people as volunteers to sign up for trials, not in the anticipation that they will get special favor later. I would go back to them and say, you are still doing very important work.
The WYNNs are ready to roll up their sleeves again, assuming they haven't gotten the vaccine already.
I understand from a scientific reason why that may not be the way they want to do it, but as a layperson, I'd love it to be that way.
It's a tricky balance, public health and individual patient safety, that needs to be struck in this case. Hendrik, Sybrandy, CGTN, Denver.